All right, let's do this. I already like this. What's it smell like?
Old. You know, I love functional, but I like looks a little bit more.
Hi, I'm Ken Block, and this is the Hoonigan Racing Division, and we're doing something a little bit different. This series and what we're doing is about my daughter, Leah, who's right now 15, and back when she was 14, she raced this thing, the Hoonicorn, in a series we call Hoonicorn vs. the World. So we've done 2 of those series. I raced the first one. Leah raced the second series.
It's a driver mod.
It's beyond dying.
What? Thanks for annihilating me. I'm honored.
We're so proud.
Yeah.
Very proud.
We're so proud.
Very
This
proud.
is unreal.
Yeah, she's a beast. Man, I'm so impressed with her. That is awesome.
She doesn't seem afraid at all.
I don't think she is.
That's kind of scary.
Hurt's afraid of Leah.
I am afraid.
You are afraid of a 14-year-old girl.
She's stone cold.
And for doing that work, she got paid. I wasn't gonna let my 14-year-old daughter race a 14 horsepower car without making some money.
Show me the money.
What does she do with that money? Well, she gets to use some of that money to buy her first daily driver. That's what this series is about. She's gonna come in here to Hoonigan Racing, work with a small crew of guys to take a 80s car, tear it apart, and then rebuild it to be her car, to not only take her driving test, around her birthday turning 16, but then be her first daily driver. So one important thing for us as a family has been that the kids have to earn everything that they do. And one way that they earn it is doing well in school. So you are still an honor roll student, right? Mm-hmm. Well, come on, bring it in. So we don't have her current certificate, but this one is a recent current certificate of her honor roll status. Actually, that one's a high honor roll.
Yeah,
status,
high
right?
honor roll.
What happens if you drop off honor roll?
If I don't get this piece of paper at the end of every quarter, no racing for me.
Yeah, so we are very proud of her. All our kids work hard. And I had to do it too as a kid. I had raced dirt bikes when I was a teenager, and my parents would help for my expenses. Eventually, I lost that privilege because I didn't keep up my grades and maybe had too many parties at the house. Don't do that. So you better keep that piece
This
of paper
fancy
going.
piece of paper.
So anyway, we're not here to talk too much about racing today, even though I just covered that. We're here to talk about our car.
Yay,
So,
I get a car.
So she spent a lot of time trying to decide what car to get. What she wanted wasn't an easy find, so the team had to help find it. And she hasn't even seen the car yet. So why did you pick
Only
this
pictures.
particular car?
It's such a cool car, and growing up around watching my dad race rally, it's not only a super cool car, but it's also great for the place that I live in because it snows half the year here, right? I need an all-wheel drive car that can handle it. I just thought it was the perfect car, and to be able to build my own car is pretty cool.
Me as a dad, like, oh, you like that car? Proud dad that my daughter has good taste. Very much way cooler than my first car, which was a hand-me-down Toyota Corolla from my mom. So, are you excited?
Yeah.
She's actually been asking me
I've
for
been
months.
bugging him so much. Like, when's my car gonna get here? When's my car gonna get here? Have we bought it yet?
And it's actually been here for a bit, and I've actually had to keep that a secret. And finally, I told her recently, and she's like, "Okay, we have to go." So okay, go see the car for the first time.
Let's go.
Are you excited?
Yes.
How excited?
So,
All right, let's do this.
are we just gonna go for it?
Yeah, it's up to you. You take the cover off. Yep. I already like this. What do you think?
So sick.
I agree.
Needs a bit of work though.
Yeah? It needs some love.
Oh yeah.
Look, there's still leaves in it.
Leaves in here too.
Some nice features.
Some nice features.
What's it smell like?
Old.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't smell like cigarettes.
Oh, and there's cobwebs up here too.
You got a lot of work to do.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited. My summer project.
All right, well, now that you've seen the car, now we have to kind of decide what we're doing with it and start working on it. So, are you ready for that?
Yes.
Okay, but we're not doing that work in the pretty shop.
Aw.
No pretty shop for you. We're going over there, in the other side of the shop, Sweet Pea. Let's start pushing this thing over. So this is our non-pretty side of Hoonigan Racing, where we keep our rims, tires, trucks, trailers, all that sort of thing. Years ago, we actually set up this corner for the kids. So each kid has a little workbench. They work on the remote control cars. They work on dirt bikes. Ben Pack actually delivered us some very nice lifts. So that one has been set up specifically for Leah to be able to work on this car. Leah and the team, I should say. So Dave, you have some details in particular, Dave being our Audi expert in-house, of history. How many Audis have you owned?
In the past 15 years, over 50.
Are you sick?
Of old 1995 and older stuff, too.
How many of those ran?
That's actually a really good question, because this is a Scotto thing. The truth is a lot of those were parts cars and donor cars. So like I will buy literal broken Audis that have been in accidents just to save engines, transmissions, and parts, because parts for these are extremely hard to find. And it's not always just this model, but other models as well.
My goal is to get this car done before Brian Scotto gets his Ur-Quattro done.
What color is this car?
Green.
Oh my God.
Well, Brian's had that car and building that car longer than Leah's been alive. Give us some details on this car. History of the model, history, how many were made.
This was launched back in 1980 basically as a rally car. It was the first all-wheel drive turbocharged production vehicle that was actually made for rally stuff. It's still like the modern recipe today, which is really cool. All-wheel drive, turbo. In the US, this is a very rare car. They only imported them for 3 years, this being the latest year. It's 664 examples that were imported.
For the whole time.
For all 3 years.
And how much for this year?
This year was only 73.
73
This is one of 73 cars.
of that year.
Of that year.
And this is considered the most desirable. It has a later style dashboard. It has the fuse panel that's under the hood. It has the Quattro script rear glass. So when you defrost your car, it lights up this Quattro script first.
We're definitely keeping that.
Yeah. So worldwide, they only built 11,000, and they built them for 11 years worldwide. So it's kind of a unique model too, and the US spec versions are a little bit different, but very unique, very rare, which makes it really hard to find parts for. Luckily, this car is one of the ones that has all of the important bits intact.
Okay, what does mean?
Oh, okay, so the Ur-Quattro. So in German, it's a prefix. So means original. This is the first all-wheel drive version that they had built.
It's a very good example of like a rally car that was used then to create rally cars, but also with good styling. Obviously the box flares, good wheels, some terrible looking destroyed fog lamps. The Quattro lettering on the rear window looks amazing, very 80s.
Very.
The steering wheel, very 80s.
That can all be updated, don't worry.
Are you keeping a tape deck?
What is that? What? Before we take this apart, we're going to think about what it's going to look like when it's done. Well, I want this to be my daily driver, so obviously I'm not going to put like crazy amount of horsepower in it. It's got to be reliable.
I gotta trust that she can get to school every day. I have to
Yeah,
get away,
I mean, I'm going to
go
put as
somewhere.
much power in it as he will let me, but I just want it to be reliable. I want it to get me to school and back and with friends, and so
Not enough
maybe
power for-
not enough power for them.
See, that's something I will allow.
Thank you.
In the snow or on the asphalt?
Both.
Well, we may have to adjust some tires for the asphalt.
What else do you want to do? What other kind of modifications would you like to have on here?
The Audi 4000 I saw at Hang Iraz's place, like it had some really cool like covered rally lights, and we could replace those with that. You know, I want it to look more rally style, tribute kind of thing to this era.
This actually has some really rare original mud flaps on it. From what I can tell, this car actually did one lap of America. In the trunk, there's a whole bunch of old CBs and radios, and it has the one lap sticker and stuff on it as well, which is kind of a cool piece of history on this particular specific car.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Pretty cool.
As far as bumpers go, this is the American style bumper,
Right.
where you got this coffee table that kind of sticks out. That's something.
Sturdy coffee table.
It is. Like, it lets you crash into things at 5 miles an hour without doing any damage, but you pay for it in weight and looks.
Yeah.
We can tuck them. We could probably try to get some European versions.
I'll help her here. We should go with the small bumper.
Smaller.
Smaller is better.
No coffee table.
Okay. You want to do actual paint. We're not just wrapping or whatever.
Yep.
We're doing legit old school paint. We'll have to talk color. That's going to be a big thing, but we need to strip this and get it ready.
Right. I want to have some sort of ski snowboard rack on top, obviously, because
Yep.
we live in a ski and snowboard town, so it would be really nice instead of having to shove it like over people's heads.
That's easily done.
Yep.
Seats?
Maybe some new nice street style Ur-Quattro seats in there.
Yep.
We're gonna have to figure out what we can do with the back seats too.
On something like that, do you just rewrap them?
You normally would recover or clean up. We could dye the interior to match as well. There's a lot of things we can do. Let's talk about other options as far as engine goes. You obviously want to do donuts. This is the original engine that was in it. It's a 5-cylinder 10-valve turbo. I would highly recommend going with the correct engine for this car. It's actually the same one that's in your dad's car. Maybe not as spicy as his. Maybe something a little toned down. But let's be honest, you can always upgrade. That
You
could
can always make it
be
spicy.
version 2. That could be stage 2 stuff that we do. But if we do a nice 20-valve turbo swap, that'll make it a heck of a lot more reliable, like you were talking about.
Yep.
It'll
not
give
gonna
it the
worry.
power that
Is
you
it gonna
need.
start today? Is it
Yeah.
not gonna start today?
This gets tricky because what about things like creature comforts? Sound system, is that important to you?
Yes.
Okay.
I like the
Nice 8-track.
Yeah. That's something we can totally do. They have some really cool options. You're taking friends in this car, right? So we're not doing like roll cage. We're not doing anything crazy.
No, it's just a daily driver. I mean, we could
Okay.
soup it up like that and make it super cool, but I want it to still be like comfortable and be able to take friends places. And
Okay. Do your friends need AC?
I think I need AC. I'm
Okay.
not gonna lie.
She said she wants to do donuts. So does that mean you want a handbrake?
Yes, please.
Okay.
So it has
Does
the
that mean I
old
get a
school.
custom one?
I mean, it has the old school style handbrake that's down. This is what I learned to slide a car with when I was 16. There's ways to keep it simple in the car like that, but actually have some sort of like hydraulic
Yep.
system with it.
Absolutely.
That actually keeps it simpler and out of your way, but it still functions. It depends on how much you're going to pull the handbrake going to the parking lot every day, or if so, we want a big one. But otherwise, if you're only going to do it every once in a while, keeping that sort of system, but with a more functional mechanical side, would actually work.
You know,
quite
I
well.
love functional, but I like looks a little bit more.
Uh-oh.
It's called fashion, Lou.
So does that mean
It's
you
your car.
want the taller Hoonigan style handbrake?
Yeah.
I'll let you guys get a little further in figuring that out, because if you can't get it in the right spot to pull it functionally, you may just want to keep that.
I also thought this was really cool. But I have actually a sunroof that I can take off and put in the back. It has a nice slot in the back for it. You just slide it in.
What about the back end? What's going on back here? What would you like to do?
Bigger
in the rear?
spoiler.
Your dad's got a bigger spoiler. You got to match his? Mm-hmm. Okay, sounds good.
Really?
Really?
Anything else?
I don't have this though, do I? Or do
No,
I?
don't think yours does.
Yeah, it's a defroster. That's really cool. These
Yeah, we're
stickers
definitely
are
keeping
really cool too. Does it say what year? it is?
87.
The person that owned this car before you was really a rally fan.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, very cool to have a Safari Rally Kenya winner sticker on there. And obviously, we think they did one lap of America.
This was an old Audi dealership once. You can't see it, it's sun faded, but there was a heart there. So it's like, I love my Audi, is what it says in German. And then I actually reached out to the president of the Audi Club of North America to try to get some more details on this car, because These are the stickers that they would give out to members of the Audi Club of North America.
Oh, well.
What about
this-
rear end? Are we copying your dad's taillights too?
I think so.
So we can get the European, again, they were factory lights, but they were just on the later years. Clean up the back end. And then same treatment in the rear with the bumpers. Get rid of the bookshelf back here.
Yep.
We didn't talk about suspension, wheels. Let's talk about that.
Anybody want to see my wheels?
Yeah.
That I picked out already?
You've been doing your
I've
hunting
been
already.
doing my homework, okay?
Okay.
I went and I found some very beautiful Motegi wheels. These
17s.
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 We're gonna put
That
some.
lets us do some bigger brake options and other
Yeah.
things. What about as far as suspension goes? Do we like the ride height? Do we want it lower? Do we want it higher?
Obviously, I don't want it too low that it's not gonna really function as we want it to in the snow.
I think that's important though, because in the snow you want some movement around of the car. You don't want it too stiff.
KW actually recently started making adjustable coilovers for this specific car.
Oh, good.
Adjustable coilover would allow you to run a taller height in the wintertime and lower it down for summer if you wanted to, or for a track day or a SCCA kind of event. Any kind of autocrossing, you could have that adjustability and we could still have, something quality on there.
That would be really cool.
Okay,
Good.
easy.
All right, next step. Get some overalls.
Get some overalls. Yeah.
overalls.
Get dirty.
Yeah, start getting this thing ready to go to paint.
Let's do this.
Just
Overalls.
Leah's captain. I'll give her instructions, but she's going to be turning wrenches. She's going to be in the driver's seat. We'll check out interior and maybe we'll start there and just start ripping out the interior a little bit too, since it's a
Gross.
bit, gross is a good word. It's a 40-year-old car, I mean, come on. All right, so that's where our battery lives. There's crusty stuff here.
Ugh.
What do you mean, ew? This is going to be your life for the next couple weeks. Oh, hey, look. Already we got,
No way.
they totally put like tape over one of the lights to like block it out. Okay, do you want to take the seat out first?
Oh, let's do that.
Okay, let's do that.
It's not moving.
Joys of a 40-year-old car.
Oh, it's like blueberry. What the?
Look at those.
Whoa.
Those are yours. Garbage pile?
Garbage pile. Oh, it's going.
Is it?
I just saw it moving a tiny bit. Oh.
There it
Yeah. Those are literally eggs. That's so gross.
is. Kill it with fire.
Let's take out that battery now. Let's either start stripping this interior and finish off what we did because it's got to be cleaned up and got to get ready.
Let's do this.
Okay.
Oh, a gun. That might help.
What is in here?
80s tech, CV. Oh, BB, actually, we could use some of that.
Nice.
There it goes. Let's test fit the fiberglass wing that we have and just see how it fits and see if it's what you like. You can sit here, have your lunch here.
It's perfect.
It's like flat. You can see how it's... Oh, hi there.
Nothing to see here. Mine's more aggressive than yours. All done.
Okay. Just lift and kind of slide it forward.
We ripped out the seats,
Yep.
back and front, and then we ripped out the rear carpet. Cleaned out the truck.
And tested.
The electrical. And away.
What is this? Elvis Presley, the King Rain. So tomorrow, get it up in the air, drain all the fluids that we can, and then we're gonna be starting to do the actual let's drop engine, let's drop subframe, let's drop all the suspension, diffs, transmission, all that jazz.
Yay.
It's gonna be a big one.
No cleaning.
Here we are.
Day 2.
We got Micah, he's helping us out. Little bro, it's awesome. All of those, yeah. All
Just
5 of those,
lather
6
it
of
up.
those are gonna all come off. Ta-da!
Got it.
This might be why we want to do a little bit of suspension upgrades.
Was this thing submerged?
I think it was parked in a field. Ken drops in. Oh yeah. Oh my god. That's all that's left of the air filter. It's pretty toast. For the record, this should not be green. Let's do the same thing but different with the oil. Oh, boom, that was easy. Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
It's got a little thingy.
Oh, yeah.
Lifting the car off the beach.
I can't believe you've done this.
Oh,
So it's the downpipe on the mount for the engine. We're leaving it all behind. Distributor's broken. It's all right. There we go.
we gone. What up, homie? We did it.
You did it.
Well, you guys helped.
Leah, how do you feel though? Seriously.
Feel really good. We did it.
These are in the tire.
We got the engine out. It was fun at times, and at times I was like, is this really ever gonna come out of here? So much inspo, like a hole. It's perfect inspo. Let's do this.
You don't know what a tape deck is, do you?
You're gonna be making mixtapes
Is it
for all
you
your
just
friends.
put tapes in and it plays, and it's just a tape
Yeah,
deck?
it's a
is
stereo
in the
player
car.
that plays tapes, so we call it a tape deck.
Ancient.
All right,